Was John Wayne Gacy found guilty? Have you ever wondered how a trial can change the course of history? The John Wayne Gacy trial is a prime example of this. In 1980, Gacy faced a jury in Cook County, Illinois, for the horrific murders of 33 young men and boys. This trial became one of the most notorious cases in American criminal history. So, was John Wayne Gacy found guilty? Yes, he was. The jury deliberated for less than 2 hours before reaching their decision on March 12, 1980. The prosecution presented overwhelming evidence against Gacy. This included his own confessions and detailed accounts of how he lured, assaulted, and murdered his victims, most of whom he strangled. Gacy's defense team tried to argue that he was insane, claiming he suffered from mental illness and was not fully responsible for his actions. However, the jury did not accept this argument. They focused on the calculated nature of Gacy's crimes, which showed he was aware of his actions. After the guilty verdict, the jury moved on to sentencing. They deliberated for just over 2 hours before sentencing Gacy to death. At that time, Illinois had reinstated the death penalty, but it only applied to crimes committed after 1977. This meant that only some of Gacy's murders qualified for the death penalty. Gacy spent more than 10 years on death row before he was executed by lethal injection in 1994. During the trial, a significant focus was on whether Gacy was sane at the time of the murders. He often appeared detached and sometimes claimed he did not understand what was happening in court. Still, the judge ruled he was fit to stand trial. The defense's strategy included portraying Gacy as a madman with a split personality, similar to the character Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They hoped to convince the jury that he had a mental disease that impaired his responsibility. However, the prosecution highlighted the deliberate and planned nature of the killings, which ultimately led to the jury rejecting the insanity defense. From a criminology perspective, Gacy's case is significant. It highlights the challenges of assessing mental state in serial murder trials. The complexities of legal definitions of insanity versus criminal responsibility come into play here. Gacy's contradictory statements during appeals and interviews further complicate understanding his psychological profile. The trial set a precedent for handling cases involving multiple homicides and questions about the perpetrator's mental health. It also underscored the role of forensic psychology and legal standards in criminal law. John Wayne Gacy was found guilty of 33 murders, rejected the insanity defense, sentenced to death, and executed, marking one of the most infamous criminal cases in United States history.